So in this example, I'm going to create a directory on Ubuntu, uh, and then I will be creating a file inside that directory. So for this one, I'm going to create a workflow file in a new repository, and I'll be using the online editor. Now, the advantage of using the online editor is that it checks the YAML syntax on the go. So that's the main advantage. But you can use any text editor and push your code to the GitHub. Now, first I will be creating a new repository, and you can give it any meaningful name. Let me call create file on Ubuntu. Create file on Ubuntu, and then I make it public, and I can add a readme file so that I can straight away write my code in the online editor. So create the repository, and as you know, the workflow file is inside the .github/workflows directory. So you need to create that directory here. So go to the add file here and create a new file. So here you press .github/ and workflows/ and you can give it a name for your workflow file. Let me call create file YML. Now after this, you can commit your change here, which of course will have an empty file, or you can straight away add your code here and then commit the changes. So I'll be adding the code first, and then I will make the changes. So the first attribute is the name attribute. This is the name of the workflow. On convention, you can give the name of the file as the name of the attribute name of the workflow. So create file. This is not required, the name attribute is not required, but of course it's a good practice to have this. And then make a tab here, keep a space between the attribute and the name, which is, and then the on key attribute. Now here you have to specify the trigger, the event. So I'll be using the push event. Now if you have to include more than one event, if you need to include more than one event, you can add inside brackets like this. Even if you have one event, you can still put inside the bracket, but I'll be using only push event, so I'll prefer this syntax. And then you can add the jobs of the workflow. Now we have only one job in this case, so jobs attribute. Then you need to add a name for your job. You can see create, this is the, let's say, let me create file. So this is the identifier of the job, and then we need to tell on what virtual environment or one OS that we are going to run this. So that's on runs on. So we are going to run on Ubuntu. So I will be calling Ubuntu latest. and then we have to write down the steps of the job. You can also give a name or an identifier for your steps, although it's not required, but it's a good practice to have it. Let me make a file, make a directory, and file. Okay, now we're going to run, we need to run the commands to create a directory and a file. So we need to run the Linux commands, shell commands. So you need to specify that on the run attribute. Now, of course, to create a directory and to go into the directory and then to create a file, you need about 3 commands. And I'll be displaying that whatever the file that I created. So I'll be using maybe 4 commands. So if you have one command, you can write down like this. For example, let's say you're going to create a directory on Linux. So mk the make directory, and you can type let's say that's the directory name. So, and then if you want to run another command, if you want, you can have a name and run the command. But if you have multiple commands, you don't need to have more than one run attributes. The easier way to do that is you need to add a pipe sign here and make an indentation here, and then you can type all your commands here. So first of all, I'm going to create a directory, and then I'm going to change my directory to the one that I created. Then I'm going to create a file inside that directory. That's touch command, which is a Linux command. Let me call test txt, and then I'm going to display the file in details. So this ls command will list the things inside the my dir directory. So these are the commands that we are going to run in this workflow file. So it's a simple file, nothing much, but you will understand the basics. That's the whole point. Okay, so now after this, I will commit my changes here. Now you can see what's going on. Click on actions, and you can see it's running the workflow file. So this is the name of the job, and you can see you have a green sign, which is a good sign. If you fail, or if you have any syntax error or any other error, it will be in red color with a cross mark. So you can see this setting up, and this is the job, the steps, and you can see the run command, and these are the commands that I put. So it make directory command, and it make the directory, and it go into the directory and create the file, and then this is what you get. You see, this is the output of the ls command. So in detail it tells what's inside the MIDIR, which is test txt. So that's the whole thing about creating a workflow file. Of course, you can create much more complex workflow files and run GitHub Actions. And but this is the basics. So thank you.